The winter months have been rough. I feel as if without sunshine, I start to wilt. But as the days start to get a little bit longer and the flowers start to bloom, I can feel some of my energy and my will to live, inspiration come back. Like it's time to come out of my little shell and get back into some healthy habits. Let's start with morning actions. As it stands, I don't have a morning routine, but I feel like a simple alarm, a stretch, a few glasses of water maybe would do me wonders. Either in bed or on a mat, I stretch my body and do a dishonor to the practice of yoga. I am terrible at yoga, my core strength, non-existent. But I'm trying. I've started putting on a podcast while I do this, something motivational or educational to wake up my brain.
Find a new group of friends to connect with relationally.
My favorites lately are the Happiness Lab and the Food Grower podcast that inspired me to put my green onion cuttings in this little propagation station. Me trying to touch my toes there and failing miserably. So I just move how it feels good to move, right? No tutorial, no poses guide, just moving in ways that feel good to my body. I used to be a big breakfast eater, but nowadays I've gotten out of that habit and I find it hard to stomach food before 9 a.m. However, I'm slowly trying to ease myself back into early morning meals with some cereal. I remember how much I used to like Weetabix. Well, they call it Weetabix in the UK, but it's like Weet-Bix in Australia. I haven't really been in my Weet-Bix era since I moved to the UK 8 years ago, so it's very nostalgic to me. Here's me trying it for the first time in like a year. Approved, I think. I don't know if that's approval. It's kind of like disappointed. Anyway, we clean up. And don't forget your vitamin D. I'm trying to do some daily vitamins, feel a bit more, have a bit more energy. As for work days, I've made a promise to myself to go into the office or take my work to a cafe at least 2 days a week. I work from home as a software designer, so it's really easy to let myself be super cozy inside and rarely get out. So reserving days to work from another location gives me a reason to have a routine, get a daily walk in. I can take some time for myself in the morning to get myself ready, do some makeup, style my hair, be present. Another thing I've been loving doing in the morning is lighting some incense. I feel like it just helps me slow down a bit and remember that my mornings aren't for stressing about the day ahead. It's for setting myself up for a good day and a good mindset. I found this incense that I really like at my friend's place. It doesn't mess with my sense of taste. Sometimes I put on an incense and it makes me taste weird things. So I really like this one. I'm lighting it more often. And I feel like I'm just doing something nice for myself. After that, I pack a bag with my laptop, my chargers, a notepad, a water bottle, and I'm set for the day. I'm gonna go on a nice walk and find a cafe to work from. I find just a simple walk, some fresh air, and observing the people around me so relaxing and grounding. The sun has just come out. I wanted to capture this shot as we're here. Just observing the nature around me and the people running by. I can see the birds flying around. It's just really peaceful. It's a good way to start your morning. I just walked past my friend Beth's workplace and I dropped a coffee off for her. It's just little actions that slow down your day, make you feel more present, and it makes you feel like you can fit so much more into your day. De-stresses you. I don't know how much sunshine I have left, but I'm just gonna relax, chill here for a bit, take this in. Honestly, the way the sunshine is filtering through the trees right now and casting these huge long shadows of the trees onto the green here, it's actually stunning. Amazing. And the glistening lake in front of me. Oh, man, the world is so beautiful. I feel so lucky to be here right now. All of the things I think are problems in my life fizzle away when I'm lost in a crowd of people or I'm just taking in how massive the sky is. I feel super insignificant and small right now, but in a very peaceful way. Once I find a nice cafe to work in, I'll get in the mood to focus. I'll just open my laptop, get straight into my work, have a meeting with my colleagues. I actually managed to not forget my earbuds today, so I get in the mood to focus with some music. I'm in a Kesha Cannibal mood. If you know, you know. I make sure to give my eyes a break from the screen every 20 minutes or so, and on my breaks I actually bought this little colouring book to keep my mind active so I don't fall into that 2 p.m. nap stage. Colouring books aren't something I thought I'd be doing in my 20s, but why did I forget how fun they are? It helps me connect with my inner child, finding creativity again without the pressure I used to put on myself to be a great artist. Have you ever played that online scribble drawing game? The one where like one person draws and then everyone else tries to guess what they're drawing. I feel like if we set up a massive group one of that would be so fun. We should do it. Then I go get a little coffee. I never used to be much of a coffee drinker, and I'm actually really quite hyper on even like one coffee. Just want to mention, like, I don't know what's in coffee that turns me into an absolutely feral maniac, but it does something to me. What is in that drink? What is in coffee? I have them maybe 2 or 3 times a week because, shocker, I get so much more done with the coffee in me. A working woman. Once work is finished, I'll try and fit in something for myself, some sort of hobby or activity. Right now, I'm trying to learn plant propagation. I was gifted these for a Secret Santa from my friend Laura. It's a little propagation station. I don't know how she knew. I don't know how we were on the same wavelength. She knew I wanted to start like growing my own food. So all I really did was I got the like old dried ends of just like store-bought spring onions, and I put them in here a little bit off the bottom so that the roots could grow into some water. Once the roots are all long and spindly, you shove them into some soil, you water them in, and then watch them grow. I know that putting your off-cuttings of spring onions into some soil is not the pinnacle of gardening, but it's a step in the right direction for me. I just had this weird realization the other day that pretty much everything I eat is from a supermarket and has probably been cut from the stalk like days, if not weeks ago, and it started to make me feel really icky. When I lived with my parents, we had this big backyard and we would grow mint and basil and we had spring onions growing. I would love a house with a garden to grow my own food in, but let's be realistic. When am I ever going to be able to like afford a house with a garden, you know? Anyway, the reason why this segment is in this video is because I wanted to make more effort to have a more mindful habit, do something that is a long game, there's a long-term reward, practicing patience, and I want to slowly get comfortable with gardening, practice my green thumb, maybe move up to things like tomatoes or cucumbers. I'm excited to see what I'm growing in like 6 months. Who knows? The sun has set and it's time for socializing. I'm a bit of an introvert in the sense that socializing can kind of tire me out, but the next day I wake up feeling so much happier and energized. Good company will always leave you with more than you came with, and it's important to find those friends that leave you feeling like your cup is full. Me and Beth, we just worked on this coloring book together. I'm someone who likes to draw in the lines and make it all neat and pretty, and she brings the chaos, and I love it. We're like yin and yang. I think making effort with your friends is so important, especially as an adult. Friendships aren't handed to you on a silver platter anymore like they were when you were a kid in school. I heard a statistic recently that's been playing in my mind over and over and over again about how the loneliest people in nursing homes are those who are quite shut off in their lives with quite a nuclear family. You know, they got married, they had their kids, and they kept quite to themselves. And the least lonely people in nursing homes are those who put just as much effort into their platonic relationships as they did their romantic one, building a really solid social group that they rely on. I say this because I think that as I'm growing up and growing out of the things that you learn when you're a kid about, you know, a one true love, a soulmate, and that's it, that's all life is, I'm sort of unlearning those unhealthy ideas about what your later life is meant to look like. As I'm getting older, I'm really yearning for community. If I can build a group of friends that turn into family and nursing home visits, then I'll count that as a life success.
It's a masterpiece. Picasso. I love you. Stunning, gorgeous.
I tried to get this shot of me walking around here, and then this dude came up and he was having a cigarette. He just lit up one right here in front of my camera. He could see it. I was like, excuse me, I'm just trying to do some photography. And he was like, I'm smoking here. And I was like, is there nowhere else you can smoke? And he was like, no. So here I am getting this shot. Abort mission. Before bed, I took some time to wind down, pamper myself a little bit, take a nice bath. I was clearly having way too much fun with the bubbles, I don't know. But yeah, that kind of concludes this video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. This video was kind of a long thing in the making. I tried to get some really nice shots for you guys and be more cinematic. Apologies for the wait, but thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.